Happy Friday! This is the latest episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a thriving business with me, Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and my fellow co-host, Jores Minasvant, a business consultant. Hey, Jores, happy Friday! It's August 1st.
Hey Anna, happy Friday, August 1st indeed. Beautiful, beautiful week, beautiful day. So let's jump right in. And what is our beautiful subject today?
The subject today has everything to do with hiring or outsourcing. It's ultimately like when you are starting your business, especially like I guess there are a couple of things that we'll probably discuss today. One is like when do you know it's time to get help, get the first task delegated to someone, and then of course like the thing is also do you um, hire or do you outsource? Like what do you do? Like what do you do? So I'm thinking actually starting with the first thing, like as you are starting your business, and then it actually applies when as you're growing your business actually to think about okay, uh, is it time for my next task to outsource or hire for my next task? So if you're just starting, it's your first task. If you already have established things, it might be your next task. If you already have a team or you're outsourcing, and ultimately when it comes to like when is the time to do this, and there are a few components here, like a few things that play a role. And one thing is where are you right now, right? Like it's your current situation, and first and foremost financially, like can you uh, sustain this? Like do you actually have enough funds in your business to either hire or outsource? And of course, how much work you have right now. So the first thing to look at is, of course, what's going on right now. But then the other key thing is actually looking into the future, like, looking into, and the future is not like 10 years into the future, it's more towards the next 6 months. And one of the things is that ideally you would want to hire uh, with the next 6 months in mind. Like you want to hire 6 months ahead of time because when you think about it, it takes time for people to get used to things, to get up to speed. So when do you know it's time to hire or outsource your first task? Well, your business is doing good enough, like you have the revenue, and from the revenue, you actually have enough resources to either hire someone or outsource. And of course, as a business owner, in the beginning, you're doing everything. And probably, even if you could work 24 hours a day, it wouldn't be enough. So, uh, again, especially as your business is growing, you have so many things going on, and you probably want to hire even right now. And if financially, like when you look at your financial situation right now for the business and the forecast you have ahead for the next half a year or so, uh, go ahead. Even if you feel like you're not ready, like if you have enough funds to support someone or outsource a little bit, even if it's just a little bit of the work, go ahead and do this. So this is what I would say for when you know it's time to outsource or hire. Joris, on this first part of the conversation, thoughts?
Um, for me, I'm from a corporate world. So for me, it's more of the distinction is operations versus project.
Oh, so you're going into the hire or outsource. Okay, awesome, awesome. Let's go to the
Yeah.
second part of the
Mhm.
conversation. So you know that you have enough money, you know you can hire or outsource. So now the question is, do you hire or do you outsource? Like what do you choose?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go back to what you were talking about, there are, i- when you talk about money, cost of something, if you are the owner and you work 20 hours a day in building the product or providing the service, and you're not a web designer, do you really want, you think Number one, you would do a good job designing your website. Number two, do you think how much do you think it will how much longer do you think it will take you? So as an owner, you think I want to spend 20 hours a day on providing my service, or I want to spend the next 4 to 6 weeks on building my website, whereas I can outsource that to a web designer, and that web designer will do it in a week. Much better product, much better features, because I'm not a web designer expert. So when we talk about money, it's also where do you want to spend your time and money, right? Really, like if you really need a website, don't do it yourself. I would never do it myself. As a hobby, maybe, but not as part of my business. I want my business to be, I want to focus on my business in delivering the service. So that's the perspective from the first part of the conversation. So don't wait until you have so much money to outsource things. Think about the cost, the real cost of not outsourcing. Go ahead.
Yeah, the real cost of not outsourcing is a great point because, like, if you could free up like 3 hours a day, where instead of doing something that is not bringing revenue, you actually uh, have more sales and you bring more revenue, isn't it worth it? Pay someone to do that work 3 hours, like outsource or hire? Absolutely. So yes, and that's why some of the recommendations are actually to hire or outsource before think you're ready, because it's an investment. And of course, like, you don't want to be reckless, and that's why, like, I mentioned, like, looking at your finances, it's like you don't want to be reckless. You want to make a move that aligns with your business, where it is, where it's going. And if you are on the fence, go for it. Go for it. And as long as you focus on the sales and the other person, like I said, Jores, like you get someone to do your website while you're actually selling, awesome.
Absolutely. 3 hours of your time spent on sales, if you can sell $5,000 worth of business, versus 3 hours of your time spent on your website, which could equal $25 an hour. You could have paid for someone $75, and then the value you get out of it is not much. That's very simple math. That's how I usually put the dollars and cents into outsourcing. Um, I'm running a business from my house, and I'm working 20 hours a day, and my house needs cleaning, and it will take me 4 hours on a Saturday to clean the entire house. 4 hours of my time is about $4,000, maybe more, but $10,000. If I can sell things and I can move my company towards 4 hours, I can pay $200 for someone to clean my house. Very simple. Very simple. Remember, in the case of the lawyer, we were chatting with her. Her commute is 2 hours each way. She spends 4 hours driving. Where in those 4 hours, if she's in the back seat actually working, she can make about $5,000, and she pays a driver $80, $100 an hour to drive her. It makes. I mean, it's not even a contest. It's not even a question. It's already proven. It's like the math speaks the volumes. Like, it makes sense for you to do it. But again, don't be egoistic. Make sure when you sit in that back seat and you're paying a driver $100 an hour, you're actually making that $4,000 to pay that driver. So if you're truly, your time is that valuable that you're selling and making money, absolutely, absolutely, it makes perfect sense. And for the second part of it is, let's say you already have the money, your company is running. Now you're building a team, and you're saying, okay, there are 10 things in uh, in my daily cycle that happen. Do I outsource or do I hire? And you want to start on this one, or you want me to start?
You can go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
So again, I'm from the corporate world. To me, it's a very clear distinction, and it applies to any business. If it's something that it's a 1 month project, and it stops and ends, and it gives you something that you need in your business, but it's not part of the core of your what you do and what your team does, that's 100% a project outsourcing. If it's something that's like we talked about, making a website or building, I don't know, something, an extra dock in your back of the warehouse or whatever. But if it's something that's repeated and it's operational, for example, your accounts payable, your accounts receivable, your finances, your customer service, that you hire for. And I think this is something that you can talk about more, Anna. The other part of it is, if it has to do with your intellectual property and the actual is something that has to do with the core of your business, you keep that inside.
Yes, absolutely. So the other thing is the other distinction between hiring and outsourcing, of course, is this your core business? Like if it's your core business, you would want to hire, and hiring doesn't mean that it's full time. Like you can hire someone part time. And then if it's not core business, you can decide to outsource. Like it's okay to outsource. And then another aspect of like when you think about hiring versus outsourcing, of course, is how quickly you need things. So if you need something faster, then outsourcing it might be the better approach because when you outsource, usually it's a faster process. Like you can, especially for a small business, like you can find someone on Fiverr or Upwork to do the work for you quickly. Like, whereas with hiring, and we face this, like we try to hire, and oh boy, was it a roller coaster, and ultimately we ended up not hiring anyone, and we paused this. So hire, and this is something that I've been hearing from so many other business owners, how hard it is to find people. And so again, how quickly you need something is another aspect to think about. And then also the other thing is how much control you want to have, because when it comes to when you hire someone, like, you are ultimately in control of the culture, the way things are delivered, and all these kind of things. But when you outsource, yes, like when you outsource, you still provide, like you are still the one who pays, right? Like you are the one who pays for this project, for this thing to be done, but you have less control. And especially like when you're starting your business, it probably doesn't matter because like you most likely outsource things to just individuals you find on some of those websites I mentioned. But like when you are bigger, like when as your business grows, and you might outsource to another company doing something, you don't have. Like Jores, you mentioned customer service. Like one thing is sometimes customer service is outsourced, and you don't have control over their culture. Like you don't have control over a lot of things. Yes, as the client, you get certain things, like you get to have a say in about certain things, but you don't have control over everything. So this is the other aspect, like control. Like how much control do you want or need to have, even if it's not part of your core business? Maybe this is something that you really want to keep aligned with your culture, aligned with your mission, vision, values, goals. So these are a few aspects to think about when it comes to hiring, outsourcing, and outsourcing. And now, of course, the other thing is like when you're hiring, you get into completely different world now, especially when this is your first hire. So you open the door for, I know, Joris, you mentioned OPEX versus CapEx. Yeah, OPEX versus CapEx, you mentioned. So when it comes to hiring, it changes things within your accounting, how things are done within your accounting. And then usually when you hire, so in addition to salary, like a lot of companies provide benefits, insurance, unemployment
Training,
things, training.
training, desk, laptop, software license, insurance, software insurance, antivirus, privacy, data privacy, a whole bunch of new things. Like I said, something when you hire people, it's for long term. It's something that is core of your business. And on average in North America, hiring a person today in 2025 costs about $100,000 to $120,000. It's just to from advertisement to interview to hire, onboard, and get them going. And the moment they hit your floor, you're paying them. There's at least, I would say, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks, but in some cases it's more like 6 months of learning curve where this person needs to learn everything, even if they're good. You're hoping they're good, you made the right choice, and they're productive. So you have to constantly monitor. And then if you hire so many people, then you have to hire a manager to manage them. It just balloons into this big thing that a lot of people may not want to manage. Whereas when you bring a contractor or you outsource things, first of all, it's you buy the knowledge that your team doesn't have. There is zero learning curve, maybe 1 or 2 days for them to learn how your stuff runs, and then they are fully productive, or you don't pay them. Very simple. You can't do that with a full timer. The moment project ends, or if you don't like their work, within 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever the notice in your contract is, you terminate. You hire someone now in North America, even or Europe, anywhere in the world, you hire someone, it will take you 2 years to get rid of them with all the new laws that they have, protection this and protection that. So you need to be very, very um, sure of. I mean, there have been debates. Some people say the ratio of 65 to 35 is good. Maybe in the mid 2000s, between 2005 and 2010, that was a good ratio: 65% contractor, 35%, which is outsourcing, 35% full time. Then I think after 2010, uh, I think the governments also pushed companies to start hiring, and but I think that also is going back now. It's more of a it makes more sense to outsource and hire contractors than it does full timers. It's very much easier for them for to deal with them. But again, you need to look at your business, what your goals are.
Yeah, of course. It really depends on your business, and uh, sometimes hiring is the right answer. Let's say you open your own bakery and you're selling your cupcakes and things like this, and in the beginning you do everything, including like all day long. You are uh, at the in the bakery or selling things, but then at some point you probably want to hire someone to be there and sell, like someone, a cashier and a salesperson. So it really depends. Like it really depends on the type of business you have, and there are pros and cons for both. There are pros and cons for both, and that's why we are sharing the good and the bad, like the both sides, what to consider, how to consider these things. And as with any decision, though, don't uh, overanalyze it and endlessly think about, oh, but if I outsource, this is it. But then if I hire, like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? While for some things you might be really clear that, oh, okay, this is outsourced. I'm outsourcing. This is a 1 month project and I don't need a website developer. Get my website up and running and that's it. For other things, like you might need some time to consider, just make the decision, try it and test it. And as business owners, we'll always try and test things and we always learn. And nothing is set in stone. Yes, of course, Joris, like you said, hiring someone costs like over 100,000 and making mistakes there, it's costly. But ultimately, sometimes we learn through experience and we need to experience something before we're able to get better at this. So whichever way you lean, go ahead. Like there's no right or wrong answer. These are two different paths, two different ways things work. And ultimately, it's your business, it's your decision. And we hope that what we shared here was helpful. So you can at least see, okay, this it looks like hiring is the path for me, or oh no, the outsourcing sounds like the better thing. So hopefully this was really like provide at least a little bit of insight into why or when you should go one route versus the other.
Balance, right? It's all about the balance. You need to find the right balance for you. Some people like to keep things small and profitable. don't overbloat your systems, your company for no reason, and hire people who are 10, 20% productive. Uh, you get a contractor, he does three full-timers job. And at the end of the day, everybody's happier. So find the right balance, what works for you. And there's some people who say, "Oh, I don't trust contractors." The whatever. Like you need to find your right balance for your business.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, like we say, share it in the comments, especially if you're, again, I know that YouTube has comments. Not sure if the Apple podcast has comments, but share in the comments, reach out to you if you want, to us if you want more help with this. Like we're always here to share. And if you even want to go on a call and talk about some of these things, we'd love to get to learn more about your business and uh, how we can help you. And yeah, otherwise, this is it for this week. I know it's been a bit of a longer conversation for Friday, but it's an interesting topic. And tomorrow we are recapping the week. So if you missed any of the episodes, you can listen to the episode tomorrow so you can see what we talked about the past couple of days, no, not couple, 5 days. And if anything was a topic that you were interested in. So remember to tune in tomorrow for a quick recap. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
Yep. Thanks, Anna. Bye.
Thanks, Jores. Bye.